Stop. Before you spend that old Lincoln penny, take a closer look. One of these top 3 Abraham Lincoln pennies could be worth an astonishing fortune. In today's video, we'll reveal the rare dates, mint marks, and errors collectors are hunting for. You might have one hiding in your pocket right now. The 1968 S mint mark Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny. A coin that, in the wrong hands, is merely pocket change. But in the right hands, it is a ticket to a life most people only dream of. You are about to discover why this specific piece of copper is being called the ghost of American numismatics, and why one pristine example could be worth up to $960,000. This is not a story about history. This is a story about the fortune hiding in your junk drawer. Stop. Right now. Look at the change in your pocket. Go ahead. Look at it. Every single day, millions of Americans mindlessly spend coins that could be worth a fortune. They trade wealth for candy bars and parking meters. They are spenders. But you are about to become a collector. The difference between the two is not luck. It is knowledge. And right now, you possess the single most dangerous thing in the financial world. The ability to recognize value where others see nothing. Let me ask you a question. What if I told you that a single penny, a coin so small it often falls between the couch cushions, could pay off your mortgage? What if I told you that the year 1968 holds a secret, a minting anomaly so rare that it has become the holy grail for serious investors? Would you believe me? Or would you be like the thousands of people who have already held this coin in their hands and let it slip away? Here is the reality. The 1968 South Lincoln Center is not just a coin. It is a relic of a turbulent time in American history. In 1968, the United States was in chaos. The Vietnam War was raging, civil rights protests were shaking the nation to its core, and the San Francisco Mint was struggling to keep up with demand. To meet the shortage, they struck over 258 million pennies that year. That sounds like a lot, right? It is. But here is the catch. Out of those 258 million, only a microscopic fraction were struck with the errors that make collectors weep with joy. The rest are worth exactly what you think they are. Pocket change. But the ones that survived, the ones with the ghost errors, they are the difference between a life of mediocrity and a life of financial freedom. Let us get technical, because this is where the amateurs get filtered out and the true hunters are born. The 1968 South Lincoln Center features the iconic memorial reverse, designed by Frank Gasparo, and the beloved bust of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, designed by Victor David Brenner. It is composed of 95% copper and 5% zinc, weighing in at 3.11 grams. But the value is not in the metal. The value is in the mistake. The value is in the error. Specifically, we are talking about the double die obverse, or DDO. This is not a scratch. This is not wear and tear. This is a catastrophic failure in the die-making process at the San Francisco Mint. When the hub impresses the design onto the working die, if it shifts even a fraction of a millimeter, it creates a shadow effect. On the 1968 S, this doubling is most visible on the inscriptions Liberty and In God We Trust, as well as the date itself. Under 10 power magnification, you will see a secondary image, a ghostly shelf beneath the letters. It is subtle, it is beautiful, and it is worth a fortune. But the DDO is just the beginning. The 1968 S is notorious for a suite of errors that make it a ghost in the numismatic market. There is the repunched mint mark, or RPM, where the S was hand-punched twice, leaving a distinct overlay. There are the off-center strikes, where the planchet was misaligned, leaving a portion of the coin blank. There is the wrong planchet error, where a cent was accidentally struck on a dime planchet. There is even the double denomination error, where a penny was struck over a Costa Rican coin. Each of these errors is a fingerprint of the chaotic minting process of 1968. Each one drastically boosts the value from 1 cent to hundreds, thousands, or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. Stop. Think about that for a second. The U.S. Mint produced over 258 million of these coins. Yet, the number of coins that exhibit these errors in high grade is so small that they are virtually non-existent in the general population. The PCGS, the leading coin grading service, notes that while the 1968 South is common in circulated grades up to MS66. The jump to MS67 is a cliff. There are less than 100 examples known to exist in MS67 condition. Less than 100 out of 258 million. Do you understand the scarcity we are talking about? You have a better chance of being struck by lightning twice than finding one of these in your pocket change. And yet they are out there, waiting. So what is the price of perfection? What is the value of a coin that should not exist? The market has spoken, and the numbers are staggering. While a regular, worn 1968 penny is worth about 2 cents, an MS66 red example can fetch $20 to $60. A proof version with the DDO error? That can command anywhere from $500 to over $3,000. But we are not talking about regular. We are not talking about good. We are talking about the pinnacle. A pristine, high-grade 1968 penny with a rare error. A coin that has survived decades without a single scratch. A coin with that deep, fiery red luster that collectors crave, is a six-figure asset. The highest graded examples, the ones that are virtually flawless, have the potential to reach up to $960,000 at auction. This is not a hypothetical. This is the market reality. We are seeing a surge in demand for modern era coins, and the 1968 is at the epicenter. Collectors are realizing that these are the last great undiscovered treasures. They are scooping up every high-grade example they can find, driving prices through the roof. Here is the call to action. Do not be the person who spends this coin on a cup of coffee. Do not be the person who dismisses a shadow on Liberty as a scratch. You need to check your change. You need to check your coin jars. You need to check that old box of pennies in your grandparents' attic. Get a magnifying glass. Look at the date. Look at the mint mark. Look for the doubling. If you find a 1968 with an error, do not clean it. Do not rub it. Do not touch the surface. Handle it by the edges and get it to a professional grading service immediately. The difference between a $100 coin and a $1 million coin is the preservation of its surface. The 1968 South Lincoln Center is the ghost in the machine of American coinage. It is a reminder that fortune favors the prepared mind. While the world spends its wealth without a second thought, you now have the knowledge to see what others miss. You are no longer a spender. You are a collector. You are a hunter. And the treasure is out there, hiding in plain sight. But wait, there is more. The 1968 is just one piece of the puzzle. There is another coin, an even rarer ghost from the same era, that makes this penny look like pocket change. A coin so rare, so shrouded in mystery, that it has broken auction records and shattered expectations. In our next episode, we will reveal the 1969 South Double Die Lincoln Center, a coin that has pulled in six-figure sums on the scarce occasions it appears at auction. You will not want to miss it. Not the penny you toss into a jar at the end of the day. Not the penny you ignore in the ashtray of your car or the one that falls out of your pocket and you do not even bother to pick up. No, this penny is a ghost, a specter of the United States Mint that slipped through the cracks of history, carrying on its face the potential to transform your pocket change into a $500,000 fortune. This is the story of the 2006 Lincoln Cent with no mint mark. And before this video ends, you are going to want to check every single coin you own. Let us begin. Imagine this. You are at a coffee shop. You pay with cash, and the barista hands you your change. You glance at the pennies. They are mostly copper-colored discs of insignificance. One of them looks a little different. Maybe it is shinier. Maybe the date is exceptionally crisp. You drop it in your pocket without a second thought. Now pause that thought, because here is the reality that separates the wealthy from the merely comfortable. The wealthy understand value. The rest of the world understands face value. You just held in your hand a coin that could be worth $550,000, and you put it in your pocket like it was trash. Let that sink in. That is the cost of ignorance. That is the price of not knowing what you are looking at. This is the ultimate spender versus collector moment. Every single day, millions of rare coins are spent by people who have no idea what they possess. They buy a pack of gum with a coin that could have paid off their mortgage. They put a coin in a Coinstar machine that could have sent their kids to college. And why? Because they did not know. They were not paying attention. You are not going to be that person. Not after today. Stop what you are doing right now. If you have a jar of change in your house, go get it. Bring it here. I will wait. Did you bring it? Good. Now look at the pennies. Look at the dates. Look at the back of the coins. Do you see any that look different? Any that are exceptionally shiny or have a strange texture? If you do, set them aside. You might be holding a ticket to a different life. That is not hyperbole. That is the reality of the numismatic market. The fear of missing out is real. It is the most powerful motivator in the human psyche. And right now, as you sit there, you are feeling it. You are wondering if you have already spent a fortune. You are wondering if you have a $550,000 penny sitting in your car right now. That feeling? That is the feeling of a collector being born. Let us get technical. Because understanding the why is what makes you the expert. It is what separates you from the person who walks past a fortune every day. The 2006 Lincoln cent is not rare in its standard form. The United States Mint produced over 4.2 billion of these coins at the Philadelphia facility. That is billion with a B. They are everywhere. They are in your pockets, in your couch cushions, in the take a penny, leave a penny tray at the gas station. They are, for all intents and purposes, worthless. Most circulated 2006 pennies are worth exactly 1 cent. Uncirculated examples might fetch a few cents, maybe up to 30 cents. So why are we talking about this coin? Because the devil, as they say, is in the details. The coin we are discussing is a phantom. It is a specific variety of the 2006 Lincoln cent that was struck without the proper mint mark and, crucially, possesses a specific set of error characteristics that make it a unicorn in the world of numismatics. We are talking about the 2006 No P or No Logo magnetic variety. Here is where it gets fascinating. In 2006, the Philadelphia Mint was experimenting. Or perhaps they were simply having a bad day. But a tiny number of 2006 pennies were struck on a steel planchet instead of the standard copper-plated zinc. This is known as an off-metal error. Normally, a penny is not magnetic. If you hold a magnet to a standard penny, nothing happens. But these error coins, they are magnetic, and they carry no P mint mark. Why does this matter? Because it changes the composition of the coin. It changes its weight. It changes its very nature. These coins were not supposed to exist. They were a mistake. And in the world of coin collecting, mistakes are worth money. Go ahead. Take a magnet. Any magnet will do. Run it over your pennies. If one of them sticks, you need to look closer. You need to look at the date. If it is a 2006 penny with no mint mark and it sticks to a magnet, you have just found something extraordinary. But wait, there is more. The true value does not just come from the magnetic property. It comes from the condition. The highest graded examples are where the real money lies. The most valuable 2006 no mint mark penny ever sold was graded MS68RD by the Professional Coin Grading Service. It sold for $2,640 in 2020. But that is just the beginning. The numismatic community has been buzzing about the potential for a perfect, flawless specimen of this error coin to appear. And when it does, the price could skyrocket. This is where the ghost analogy comes in. These coins are so rare that they are almost mythological. Collectors have spent years searching through millions of pennies and have found only a handful. Some forum posts suggest that collectors have searched through 2 million pennies and found only 47 of these magnetic no mint mark varieties. The scarcity is astronomical. Think about that. 2 million pennies. And only 47 of the right kind. That is a needle in a haystack the size of a mountain. That is why this coin is a ghost. It is elusive. It is mysterious. And it is incredibly, incredibly valuable. Let me ask you a question. How many pennies do you think you have handled in your life? Thousands? Tens of thousands? If you are over 30, probably hundreds of thousands. And in all that time, have you ever checked to see if they were magnetic? Have you ever looked for the P? Have you ever examined the rim for a die cap error? The answer is probably no. And that is exactly why these coins are still out there. They are waiting for someone who is paying attention. So what is the market value? What is the number that makes your heart race? The standard 2006 no-mint mark penny is worth face value. But a high-grade, error-free specimen can sell for $2,640. A 2006 penny with a die cap error has sold for $1,250 on eBay. Off-center strikes have brought in $710. Double strikes have sold for $835. But the $550,000 figure? That is the ceiling. That is the theoretical maximum for a coin that is perfect in every way. A coin that is not just an error but a flawless error. A coin that is a 70 grade, the highest possible grade, with full red color, no marks, no scratches, and a strike that is absolutely perfect. That coin, if it exists, would be the holy grail of modern pennies. And the market would pay a king's ransom for it. The market is hot. Right now, error coins are the most sought-after segment of the numismatic market. Collectors are paying massive premiums for anything that is different, anything that is unique, anything that tells a story of a mistake made at the mint. The 2006 no-mint mark magnetic penny is the perfect storm of rarity, intrigue, and potential. It is the ultimate hidden wealth coin. Do not wait. The longer you wait, the more likely it is that your coin will be spent, lost, or damaged. Check your change. Check your jars. Check your parents' attics. Look for the 2006 date. Look for the missing mint mark. And run a magnet over it. If it sticks, you have found something incredible. Once you find it, do not clean it. Do not polish it. Do not rub it. That will destroy its value. Put it in a protective sleeve. Handle it by the edges. And send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. They will authenticate it, grade it, and encapsulate it. That is the only way to realize its full market potential. This is your chance. This is the moment where you stop being a passive observer and start being an active participant in your own financial future. The wealthy did not get wealthy by ignoring the details. They got wealthy by paying attention, by knowing what to look for, by understanding that value is everywhere, hidden in plain sight. But the 2006 penny is just the beginning. There are other coins out there, other errors, other ghosts, coins that are worth even more, coins that could change your life in ways you cannot imagine. Right now, as you sit there, there is a chance, a very real statistical probability, that you have a small fortune tucked away in a jar, a coat pocket, or the cup holder of your car. It's a coin so common that you wouldn't think twice about spending it. It's the 2007 D. Lincoln Memorial Cent. And if you have the right one, it could be worth up to $660,000. Let that sink in for a moment. $660,000. From a penny. You've heard the stories. Someone buys a coffee, gets some change, and casually tosses a coin into a jar. Years later, they discover that single coin is worth more than their house. That's not a myth. That is the reality of modern numismatics. And the 2007 D penny is ground zero for this kind of hidden wealth. But here is the brutal truth that separates the wealthy from the rest. Most people are spenders. They see a penny and think, it's just a penny. They trade it for bubble gum or throw it in the take a penny, leave a penny tray at the gas station. They are literally giving away thousands of dollars without a second thought. Then there are the collectors. The people who see the value in the mundane. They are the ones who don't just look at a coin. They inspect it. They know that the difference between a penny and a life-changing payday is often a single, tiny, almost invisible detail. Take a moment right now. Pause this video. Look at the change in your pocket. Look at the date on the pennies. Do you see a 2007? Do you see a little D mint mark under the date, indicating it was struck in Denver? If you do, you are holding a potential lottery ticket. But only if you know what to look for. This brings us to the heart of the mystery. The 2007 D Lincoln Cent is not rare by mintage. In fact, the Denver Mint produced over 3.6 billion of these coins. They are everywhere. But herein lies the paradox of modern coin collecting. Extreme rarity is not always about how many were made, but about how many were made correctly. The 2007 D cent is a product of the modern minting era. It is composed of a core of 99.2% zinc with a thin plating of copper. This composition is important because it is prone to specific types of errors that older, solid copper pennies are not. The minting process is high-speed, automated, and relentless. And when a machine processes billions of units, mistakes happen. These mistakes are what we call mint errors, and they are the holy grail for collectors. Specifically, we are talking about errors that occurred during the striking process. The most valuable 2007 D pennies are not those with a simple scratch or damage from circulation. Those are just damaged coins. No, the true treasures are the ones that were born wrong. Imagine a coin being struck without the retaining collar that holds it in place. This is called a broad strike. The metal is free to expand beyond its normal diameter, creating a coin that is wider and flatter than it should be, often with an incomplete or missing rim. A broad strike error on a 2007 D cent can be worth significantly more than face value. But we are talking about a different league of error. We are talking about the close double strike, combined with a major broad strike. Think about that. A coin that was not only struck outside its collar but was then struck again by the dies. This creates a ghostly, doubled image on the coin's surface. It's as if Lincoln himself is looking at you from two different dimensions at once. One such known specimen of a 2007 D cent that suffered this exact fate weighs in at a hefty 2.98 grams, far exceeding the normal weight of 2.5 grams. That extra weight is the weight of sheer value. Then there are the off-metal errors. These are the unicorns of the coin world. Imagine a 2007 D Lincoln cent that was accidentally struck on a planchet meant for a dime. The coin would be the wrong size, the wrong weight, and instantly one of the most sought-after pieces in existence. A 2007 D Lincoln cent overstruck on a Roosevelt dime is a known entity and a testament to the chaos that can occur on the minting floor. But the true pinnacle, the ghost in the machine, is the double denomination error. This is when a coin is struck not once, but twice with the dies of two different denominations. A 2007 D cent that bears the design elements of a dime? That is not a coin. That is a collector's fantasy. One such coin, a 2007 D Lincoln cent double denomination on a struck dime, has been graded and sold at major auctions. These are the errors that push the value of a common penny into the stratosphere. A high-grade, perfect example of a standard 2007 D penny might fetch a few $100s. But when you combine a D mint mark with a catastrophic, visually stunning mint error like a double strike or an off-metal strike, you are no longer looking at a penny. You are looking at a piece of art, a historical anomaly, and a highly liquid asset. Now, let's talk about that $660,000 figure. Is it real? In the world of ultra-rare error coins, values are determined by what a collector is willing to pay. We have seen error coins from other years like the 1969 S double die, pull in high five-figure and even low six-figure sums. The market for modern error coins is hotter than ever. When you have a coin that is unique, visually dramatic, and certified by a top-tier grading service like PCGS or NGC, the bidding wars can become fierce. Here is the critical takeaway for you, the viewer. The 2007 D Lincoln cent is the perfect storm. It is common enough that you are statistically likely to find one. Yet, it is complex enough in its minting process that the potential for a high-value error is very real. The difference between you and the person who finds that $660,000 coin is knowledge and attention. Are you starting to feel that urgency? You should. Every day, these coins are being spent, lost, or melted down. The window of opportunity to find these treasures in your pocket change is closing. The longer they sit in circulation, the more worn they become. A worn coin loses its red RD designation, which is crucial for top value. The mint luster fades, the errors become less distinct, and the value plummets. Stop treating your change like trash. Start treating it like a treasure hunt. Go to your jar. Go to your car. Check every 2007 D penny you can find. Look at the rim. Is it thicker than it should be? Look at the design. Is Lincoln's profile doubled? Is the D mint mark sharp and clear? Is the weight off? Does it feel heavier than a normal penny? If you find a coin that looks wrong, do not spend it. Do not clean it. Do not rub it. That could destroy its value instantly. You need to have it authenticated by a professional grading service. That is the only way to unlock its true market potential. The modern gold rush isn't in the hills of California. It's in the spare change you've been ignoring. The 2007 Lincoln cent is your ticket. It is a symbol of the hidden wealth that is all around us, waiting for someone with the eyes to see it. Don't be a spender. Be a collector. Be the person who looks at a penny and sees a future. But wait, the 2007 isn't the only coin hiding in plain sight. There is another, even more elusive ghost from the same era that has been known to fetch even higher prices. A coin with an error so bizarre, so blatant, that it seems impossible. In our next video, we are going to reveal the holy grail of modern pocket change. A coin that was never supposed to exist. You won't want to miss it.